Practice these 7 Stoic habits every day to master your mind. Stoicism. Imagine começar seu dia com clareza e foco, independentemente de quão caótico possa estar o mundo ao seu redor. A filosofia estoica oferece hábitos poderosos que podem ajudar a treinar sua mente. Como disse Marco Aurélio, você tem poder sobre sua mente, não sobre os eventos externos. Isso significa que a sua paz interior é um reflexo do que você escolhe pensar e como reage às situações. Considere a manhã em que você se mistura com um tráfego intenso. A frustração se instala quando você está preso, ouvindo aqueles sons de buzinas e vendo rostos impacientes ao seu redor. A tentação é deixar que a raiva tome conta. No entanto, você pode treinar sua mente usando o princípio estoico da aceitação. Em vez de se sentir lascado, respire fundo e pense: não posso controlar o tráfego, mas posso controlar minha resposta. Essa aceitação é o primeiro passo para a verdadeira liberdade emocional. Ao se deparar com esse tipo de desafio, pergunte-se: como reajo quando me deparo com algo fora do meu controle? Quais emoções vêm à tona? Quando você se permite refletir, começa a entender suas reações automáticas, que muitas vezes são guiadas pela frustração ou pelo estresse. Agora, visualize no trabalho um colega que frequentemente reclama, sugando a energia do ambiente. Você poderia facilmente se deixar arrastar por essa negatividade. No entanto, ao se lembrar do princípio da indiferença, que algumas coisas estão além do seu controle, você se coloca em uma posição de força. Ao invés de se deixar afetar, escolha compor suas respostas com empatia e compreensão, buscando um diálogo construtivo. Pense sobre isso. Você realmente consegue manter uma mente calma em meio à adversidade? O que acontece com você quando não consegue? Cada situação é uma chance de cultivar serenidade. A prática diária desses hábitos estoicos te levará a um nível de autocontrole que você talvez nunca tenha imaginado ser possível. Ao fim do dia, ao revisar suas interações e emoções, que lições você identifica? Cada experiência oferece uma oportunidade de aprendizado. Ao refletir sobre como você lidou com os desafios hoje, considere o que poderia ter feito diferente. Isso te ajuda a fortalecer o músculo da resiliência. A proposta aqui é simples. Nos próximos 24 horas, escolha um dos hábitos estoicos para praticar. Se uma situação difícil surgir, lembre-se do poder que você tem sobre sua mente. Foque em aceitar o que não pode ser mudado e, ao fazer isso, descubra um novo espaço de paz interna. Antes de colocar esta valiosa lição estoica em prática, preciso dar um aviso importante. Muitos inscritos relataram que o YouTube os desinscreveu sem aviso. Confira o botão vermelho abaixo e certifique-se de que você ainda está inscrito no canal. Não quero que você perca nenhuma lição estoica que está por vir. E já que você está aqui, não se esqueça de deixar um poderoso like. Isso me ajuda bastante com o algoritmo. Por último, compartilhe nos comentários de qual cidade você está assistindo. Adoro conhecer cada pessoa incrível que faz parte desta comunidade. Sua participação faz toda a diferença. Então vamos interagir. Have you ever taken a moment to notice how often we get caught up in the whirlwind of our daily lives? The noise, the chaos, and the expectations seem relentless. Picture yourself standing in line at the grocery store, tapping your foot, feeling that familiar impatience brewing inside. The world spins faster around you, but you can choose to pause for a moment. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, explore the idea that your reaction to the world shapes your experience. This is where the core of Stoicism shines. It's not just about accepting what is out of your control. It's about understanding that your feelings towards these situations are what truly define your state of mind. Are you letting tension fill your chest, or are you allowing peace to settle in? Let's dive deeper. When faced with unpredictability, it's easy to react impulsively. Perhaps your friend calls, sharing worries about their job. Without thinking, you might find your own stress mirroring theirs, spiraling into a conversation filled with anxiety. However, consider this. What if I approach this with a calm mindset? How can I provide support while remaining grounded? Think about it this way. You have the power to be the sunny weather in your friend's cloudy day. By maintaining your composure, you can help diffuse the negativity rather than amplify it. As Epictetus wisely stated, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This quote is a reminder that your internal landscape is yours to cultivate. When you realize that your thoughts and responses shape your experiences, you take on a transformative power. You can shift from being reactive to becoming proactive in your emotional health. Ask yourself, do I often let external pressures dictate my peace? What would change in my life if I reclaimed that power? Consider a moment you felt overwhelmed, maybe during a tough meeting or while trying to meet a deadline. In that chaos, did you give the situation control over your emotions? Or did you take a step back, breathe, and reassess? These are the moments where the practice of Stoicism becomes a powerful ally. In your daily practice, take small steps. Each time you feel that tension rise, whether it's in traffic or at work, remember that you have a choice. You can choose your response. Embrace the practice of mindfulness, where you observe your emotions without becoming them. The more you train this muscle of acceptance and control, the more resilient you will become. As you reflect on your day, consider this. How did you handle the challenges? What could you approach differently tomorrow? Each experience is an opportunity for growth, an invitation to deepen your understanding of your reactions. In the next 24 hours, challenge yourself to practice a Stoic habit. Perhaps it's breathing deeply when faced with frustration, or reminding yourself of the things you can control. Remember, the world may be chaotic, but your inner peace is a fortress built by your choices. Now, it's your turn. What will you choose to cultivate in your mind? How will you navigate the next storm that comes your way? Embrace this journey, and let's continue to grow together in this fascinating exploration of Stoicism. Have you ever noticed how quickly a moment can turn from calm to chaotic? One minute, you're enjoying your coffee, and the next, a sudden interruption throws you off balance. It's in these moments that our Stoic practices can make a real difference. Let's say you're at home, relaxing after a long day. Suddenly, the phone rings. It's a friend venting about their problems. You can feel the weight of their concerns as if they're being placed on your shoulders. This is a perfect chance to practice what we discussed in the last chapter. Instead of absorbing their stress, you can create space for yourself. How can you respond without losing your center? First, remind yourself that it's okay to set boundaries. You can listen without taking on their anxiety as your own. Take a deep breath before you reply. You can say, "I hear you and I'm here for you," but let's also find a way to focus on the positives. By doing this, you remain supportive without becoming overwhelmed. It's a delicate balance, and practice will help you master it. Next, think about the concept of detachment. It doesn't mean you stop caring about others. Instead, it allows you to separate your emotions from theirs. This gentle distance can give you clarity. You can still be a shoulder to lean on while preserving your peace. Picture a buoy in the ocean. It bobs and moves with the waves, but remains afloat regardless of the storm. Now, consider your daily routines. Are you rushing through tasks? Maybe you're tempted to skip your lunch or skip a workout to get more done. Here's the thing. Stoicism teaches us that our time is precious. Each moment is an opportunity. When we rush, we often lose sight of what truly matters. So, take a step back. Schedule short breaks. Even just 5 minutes to breathe deeply or go for a quick walk can reset your mind. Speaking of routines, how about beginning your day with purpose? Before jumping into work, take a moment to set an intention. Ask yourself, what do I want to achieve today? It can be as simple as being more patient or finding joy in small victories. Setting intentions gives your day direction and can help ground you when challenges arise. As you navigate your day, remember to be playful with your thoughts. Life is not just about serious reflections. Find joy in little things. A favorite song, a warm cup of tea, or a laugh with a friend. Stoicism is not only about endurance, it's also about enjoying life fully while accepting its ups and downs. At the end of each day, take a moment to check in with yourself. Reflect on how you handled challenges. Were there moments where you reacted instead of responding? It's okay if you did. Use these moments to learn and grow. Ask yourself, what would I do differently tomorrow? This practice keeps you evolving and helps you become more resilient. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to transform negatives into positives. Let's focus on gratitude and how it can shift your mindset. Remember, life will bring storms, but with practice, you can find your calm even in rough waters. Until then, what will you focus on cultivating today? Your journey in Stoicism is just beginning, and I'm excited to explore it with you. As we dive into this next phase of our Stoic journey, let's talk about the power of perspective. Life is filled with moments that challenge us. When faced with difficulties, it can feel overwhelming. But remember, how you see the situation matters far more than the situation itself. Think about the last time something didn't go according to plan. Maybe a project at work fell through, or you had a disagreement with a friend. Did you focus on the failure, or did you look for a lesson? The key here is choosing to view challenges as opportunities for growth. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This wisdom encourages us to shift our perspective. Let's take a closer look at your daily routine again. Imagine you're already tired on a Monday morning and your bus is late. The frustration builds. Why can't things just go smoothly? Instead of letting that frustration consume you, change the narrative. I can use this time to catch my breath or plan my week. That simple shift can create a sense of empowerment. How about gratitude? It's easy to overlook the good when things feel tough. At the end of each day, take a moment to jot down 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be grand gestures. Maybe it's a cozy meal or a friendly smile. This small practice can reshape your outlook. reminding you that there are always silver linings, even in hard times. Now let's explore resilience. Imagine resilience like a tree bending in the wind. The tree doesn't snap, it sways, adapts, and stands tall again afterward. You too can develop a flexible mindset. When faced with stress, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Each challenge is a chance to build your inner strength. Sometimes it helps to talk things out. Reach out to a friend or a family member. Share your thoughts without seeking pity. Instead, focus on solutions. Opening up not only lightens your emotional load, but also offers new perspectives. You might find that others have faced similar struggles and emerged wiser. With that in mind, let's think about how to embrace uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and that's part of its beauty. Instead of trying to control everything, accept that some things are beyond your reach. You cannot control the weather or others' actions, but you can control your reactions. This is central to Stoic practice. When faced with anxiety about the future, try meditating on the present moment. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and focus on how you feel right now. The act of grounding yourself can ease your worries. Embrace that stillness. It's here that you can reconnect with your true self. As we move forward, reflect on how you can apply these ideas. How can you challenge your perspectives? Which gratitude practices resonate with you? Each day gives us a fresh start, a new chance to apply Stoic principles. Let's keep this conversation going in the next chapter. We will delve into transforming negative thoughts into positive actions. Your journey in Stoicism is unfolding beautifully. Embrace it, and let's take it one step at a time together. What will you choose to reflect on tomorrow? Remember, each reflection is a building block for your peace. As we step into this next chapter of our Stoic journey, let's explore the concept of emotional mastery. Life can throw curveballs at us every day, and it's easy to get swept away by our feelings. But what if we could learn to navigate those emotions instead of letting them control us? Think about the last time you felt stressed or anxious. Maybe it was during a busy week at work, or when life felt overwhelming. In those moments, our emotions can feel like heavy weights dragging us down. Acknowledge that feeling. It's a natural part of being human. The key is not to judge yourself for having these feelings, but to understand them. Imagine for a moment that you are standing by a river. Your thoughts and emotions are like leaves floating by on the water. Some are bright and cheerful, while others are dark and heavy. The trick is to let those leaves drift by without clinging to them. Instead of letting the dark leaves weigh you down, acknowledge their presence and then let them go. This is where mindfulness comes in. Practicing mindfulness allows you to pause and observe your thoughts and feelings without getting swept away. When you feel that tension rising, take a moment to breathe deeply. Inhale slowly through your nose, hold it for a second, and exhale through your mouth. This simple act can ground you and create a space between your feelings and your reactions. Once you've created that space, ask yourself what you can learn from the situation. The emotion you experience has a lesson hidden within. For instance, if you feel anger, it might point to a boundary that needs to be set. If you feel sadness, maybe it's a signal to reach out for support or reconnect with joy. As you practice emotional mastery, also think about gratitude's role. Embracing gratitude can shift your focus from what's troubling you to what's positive in your life. Start with small things: a warm cup of coffee, a kind word from a friend, or a beautiful sunset. These moments remind us that even amidst chaos, there is beauty. Try to jot down 3 things you're grateful for each day. This practice will train your mind to notice the good amidst the challenges. Now let's circle back to the importance of community. Remember, you don't have to navigate this journey alone. Share your experiences with friends or family. Discuss how you cope with various emotions. Engaging in these conversations can deepen your connections and provide new insights. Plus, you might discover that others share similar struggles and triumphs. Think about the people in your life who uplift you. Spend time with those who inspire you to grow. Surrounding yourself with positive influences creates an environment where you can thrive. As you continue on this path, consider how you can apply these insights. Are there emotions that often catch you off guard? What will you do it differently when they arise next time? Each day is a chance to practice emotional mastery, allowing you to respond with clarity rather than reacting impulsively. In our next chapter, we'll delve into the practice of setting intentions and how they can guide your daily life. Remember, every reflection is a step towards building your inner peace. Embrace this journey, and let's keep exploring together. What intentions will you set for tomorrow? Your growth in Stoicism continues, and I'm excited to share it with you. As Jake stood in the center of his cluttered living room, the events of the past few weeks flashed before his eyes. He had grappled with stress, anxiety, and feelings of overwhelm, often leaning on the Stoic principles he had learned. But now, it was about to come to a head. He took a deep breath, trying to anchor himself in the moment. Just a week prior, he had faced a crisis at work. A major project he'd worked on for months collapsed due to unforeseen circumstances. The disappointment weighed heavily on him. His colleagues had rallied around him, offering support, but he felt his emotional reservoir draining. It was a perfect storm of self-doubt and chaos. But today was different. Today, Jake had a plan. He had decided to confront the rising tide of negativity that threatened to engulf him. With the Stoic habits he had practiced over time, he was ready to respond, not react. He remembered the power of perspective. Instead of fixating on the project's failure, Jake chose to view it as an opportunity to learn. What can I derive from this? He pondered. As if triggered by his resolve, he grabbed his notebook and started listing the insights from this colossal setback. Writing brought clarity. It turned his scattered thoughts into structured ideas. Then, he recalled the discussions about emotional mastery. He noted how often he allowed external pressures to dictate his feelings. That stops now, he resolved. Embracing gratitude, he wrote down 3 things he was thankful for right at that moment. The supportive colleagues, the warmth of the sun streaming through the window, and the chance to learn from failure. Each entry felt like lifting a weight off his chest. After a productive morning of introspection, Jake sat down to call his friend Alex. He hadn't spoken to him in a while, and it was time to reconnect. "Hey, Alex, can we talk?" he began. The familiar voice immediately soothed his nerves. They dived deep into conversations about their lives, struggles, and victories. Jake shared his recent challenges, but instead of wallowing in feelings of inadequacy, he highlighted the lessons learned. Alex responded with openness, sharing his struggles too. What used to feel like him shouldering burdens alone transformed into shared experiences. In that moment of vulnerability, Jake realized the power of community. No one had to navigate their storms alone. They talked for over an hour, lifting each other's spirits like lifebuoys in rough seas. By the time he hung up the phone, Jake felt lighter. The weight of unprocessed emotions had shifted, and he was ready to embrace the next chapter of his life. He understood that emotional mastery wasn't about suppressing feelings. It was about acknowledging them, learning from them, and choosing his responses wisely. As evening settled in, Jake faced a new challenge, a dinner with family who often triggered his anxiety. Igniting his Stoic principles, he prepared himself mentally. Remember to stay grounded, he reminded himself. He visualized the conversations ahead. Instead of bracing for conflict, he decided to focus on joy and connection. At the dinner table, laughter mingled with discussions about mundane daily life. Jake entered with open ears, determined to cultivate positivity. When tempers flared over trivial matters, he offered calmness. Let's take a breath and appreciate the meals before us, he suggested. Everyone paused, and it worked. The room lightened, and laughter returned. That night, before bed, Jake reflected on his day. When faced with tasks, obstacles, or negative emotions, he had made choices that aligned with his values. He felt the serenity wrap around him like a comforting blanket. He had taken the steps to master not just his mind, but also his relationships and, ultimately, his life. As he drifted off to sleep, he welcomed the thought of moving forward on this path of inner peace. The lessons of Stoicism were not only principles for him to learn, they had become a part of who he was. Do you want to continue your journey towards inner peace? Subscribe now to the channel for more Stoic reflections. If this helped you grow, click like. In the comments, share the biggest insight you took away. Your experience may inspire others. And remember, share this with at least 3 friends who might need a little balance in their lives.